The world tells you that a man's crisis is all in his head. They tell you it's a problem of mindset or a failure of emotions. They look at a man whose life is burning down, whose wife is left, whose business has collapsed, who's standing in the ash of his former life, and they give him advice that is practically criminal. They tell him to talk more, or they'll tell him to think positively, or they'll tell him to meditate on his feelings. And I'm here to tell you that they're wrong. And not just kind of wrong. They are dangerously wrong. The war for your soul is not a battle of the mind. It's actually a battle of the body. And right now, your body is losing. Because when a man's life collapses, his body declares war on him. He's not sleeping. His chest is tight. His stomach is in knots. He's exhausted, yet he's wired. He's not just sad. He is physiologically compromised. And to tell a man in this state, a man whose chemistry has been hijacked by trauma, to just think his way out, is like telling a man with 2 broken legs to run a marathon. In my opinion, it's a cruel and ignorant joke. Because you can't win a war of the mind when the body is already surrendered. Welcome to episode 10. Today, we stop trying to think our way out of hell. Today, we fight our way out. Let's get tactical. I want to explain exactly why you feel the way you feel right now. Because if you don't understand the mechanics of the machine, you can't fix the engine. For those who don't know, I have a degree and background in exercise science. I've built my entire career on understanding the mechanics of human performance. I spent years studying how the body works, how muscles grow, how energy is produced. And yet, when my own polycrisis hit, when my relationship ended, when my business caught fire, I froze. Why? Because of one specific chemical that you've probably heard of. Cortisol. When you're in a crisis, cortisol, which is a stress hormone, is flooding your system 24/7. In short bursts, cortisol is actually good. It helps wake you up. It helps get you ready to fight a tiger. But when the crisis lasts for months, when the divorce drags on, or when the debt keeps piling up, cortisol becomes a poison. And here's what it is trying to do to you right now in real time. Number one is it kills testosterone. You can't have high stress and high drive at the same time. Biology just won't allow it. Number two is it can destroy muscle. Your body thinks it's actually dying, so it eats its own expensive tissue in order to survive, especially if we're not strength training. Third, it can increase fat storage, specifically the most dangerous kind, which is visceral fat around your organs. And fourth, and this is the silent killer, is it can create chronic systemic inflammation, such as brain fog, or your joints hurt more. And I know for me that I had to fight a lot was my decision-making was compromised. You are physically incapable of clear thought. Your body, in a sense, has become a physiological prison. And your own biology is the warden. This is why talk therapy, which has its place, often fails in the acute stages of a crisis. Because you sit in a chair and talk about your feelings, but your blood is literally acidic with stress. You aren't just struggling. You are chemically sedated by your own stress response. So if the mind is broken because the body is broken, we have to flip the script. The first battle of your resurrection is not psychological. It is physical. And this brings us to the core of my resurrection protocol. Why do we start with the body? Or another way to consider that is, why do we emphasize the body as much as we do? Why do I tell men who are suicidal or bankrupt or heartbroken to go to the gym? Is it vanity? Is it because I want them to look good on Instagram? No. We start with the body because it provides the most visible, tangible result in a world where everything else is invisible. Think about your life right now. You can work on your marriage for 6 months and not see a single change in her attitude, right? You can work on your business for a year and not see the bank account move. I can attest to this. Or you can pray for silence in your head and still hear the voices. I can attest to this one too. These are lagging indicators. The results take time. And when you're in hell, time feels like the enemy. And really what you need is a win right now. And physical training is the only arena where the input immediately creates a noticeable output. If you pick up a heavy weight, you receive immediate feedback. If you run until your lungs burn, you receive immediate endorphins known as the runner's high. If you eat clean for 7 days, the scale's going to move in a positive direction. It's the first signal. It was the first signal I sent to my own body that the war was about to change. It wasn't a mind game. It was a physical intervention. When everything else in your life feels out of control, the iron is the only thing that listens to you. You can control the rep. You can control the food. You can control the sleep, hopefully. But by seizing control of your vessel, you start to break the loop. A brutal workout isn't a punishment. It's a cortisol burning furnace. It helps regulate your nervous system. It forces your body to produce the hormones of victory, like dopamine and testosterone, instead of the hormones of defeat, like cortisol. You are recalibrating your physical machine for war. And this is going to lead directly to my story, because I did this. I executed this protocol to perfection. But I learned a lesson that almost broke me for the second time. I want to take you back to the first 9 months after my system failure. So this is November 2023 until around June 2024, maybe July. I can't do the math exactly right here. My polycrisis had hit. The relationship was gone. The business was practically dead. My identity was shattered. I was the expert, remember? I knew exactly what to do physically. But in the beginning, I was eating like garbage. I couldn't sleep. My body felt like a stranger to me. So I decided to fight back. I engaged the protocol. I treated my own body like a science experiment. And I said, okay, if I can't fix my heart and I can't fix my bank account right now, I'm going to fix my body. And I went to war, man. I woke up early. I tracked every single gram of protein. I lifted until I had nothing left. I did the cardio that I hated. I took the cold showers in the mornings. I applied radical self-accountability to my own physiology. And the results were undeniable. In those 9 months, I dropped my body fat percentage from 22% to 14%. And for those of you who may not know fitness stats, that is a gigantic shift. That's an 8% drop. That's the difference between looking soft and tired and looking athletic and dangerous. My face leaned out. I had visible abs for the first time. The veins were popping in my arms, especially in my forearms. I looked in the mirror, and physically, I looked like a resurrection. I looked like a man who had won. But here's the part that no one puts in the Instagram caption. Here's the trap. I remember still standing in my bathroom one morning. The lighting was perfect, which is tough because the lighting in my bathroom is generally shit. But that day it was perfect. I looked at my reflection. I saw the abs. I saw the definition. I saw the physical machine operating at peak efficiency. And I waited for the feeling of joy to hit me. I waited for the feeling of peace to wash over me. I waited to feel fixed. And I felt empty. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't really feel, I did feel empty, but more so actually, I felt the exact same pain, the exact same loneliness, and the exact same grief that I felt when I was at 22% body fat. I was just a more shredded version of a broken man. Like I mentioned earlier, I had dropped 8% body fat, but I hadn't dropped an ounce of the shame. I had built muscle, but I hadn't fully rebuilt my spirit. And this is the incredible danger of the red pill fitness culture. We tell men, especially young men, just hit the gym, bro. Just get jacked, bro, and all your problems will go away. It's a lie. It's a necessary step, yes, but it's not the only step. If you build a temple, but you leave it empty, it's just a building. If you build a warrior's body, but you keep a coward's heart, you're just a dangerous coward. I had fallen into the trap of thinking that a physical transformation equaled a resurrection. It does not. A physical transformation is just the foundation. You still have to build the temple. So, does this mean the gym is useless? Does this mean that dropping that 8% body fat was a waste of time? Absolutely fucking not. And here's why. If I had stayed at 22% body fat, if I had stayed inflamed, tired, and toxic, I never would have had the energy to do the real work. I would have been too exhausted to pray. I would have been too foggy to read. I would have been too weak to serve. The physical transformation didn't save my soul, but it bought me the time and the energy to in fact save my soul. Think of your body like a car. I'm sure all of you have heard this metaphor before, but stick with me on this. If you're trying to drive across the country to find God, you need a car that works. If your car has flat tires, a blown engine, and no gas, which is what essentially high cortisol and obesity would be, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just stuck in the driveway, right? Fixing the car doesn't get you to the destination instantly. You still have to drive the car. You still have to follow the GPS. But at least now you can drive. And this is exactly why we start with the body. Not because it's the answer, but because it's the instrument. We use the body to save the soul. The physical discipline becomes the evidence of the spiritual commitment. When I was standing in that bathroom, looking at my 14% body fat, I realized something profound. I realized that God didn't really care about my abs, but he cared about my discipline. He cared that I honored the vessel he gave me. He cared that I refused to let his creation crumble under the weight of the world. The 8% drop wasn't for vanity. It was proof that I was ready to be a man of my word again. Not just to myself, but most importantly, to him. And this is where the science becomes sacred. This is where we fuse the exercise science degree with the resurrection philosophy. We need to reframe what a workout actually is. For the rest of the world, who's lying that their life isn't fucked up, A workout is vanity. It's about looking good on the beach. But for the resurrection man, a workout is exorcism. Every single rep is a prayer. Every drop of sweat is an offering. Every time you push through the pain when you want to quit, you are training your spirit to endure suffering. You are not just building muscle. You are rebuilding the temple. You are in a war on two fronts. Front one is the mind, and front two is the body. You've been trying to fight the war in your head while your body is actively sabotaging you. And truthfully, my people, it is a war you cannot win. This protocol, the resurrection protocol, is different. It acknowledges that the body is the first domino. We knock that domino down. We flush the cortisol. We stabilize the dopamine. We clear the fog. We lower your body fat, not just so you can be happy, but so you can be clear. And once you are clear, once the vessel is strong, then we deal with the heart. Then we deal with the betrayal. Then we deal with the purpose. But we do not try to put a Ferrari engine in a rusted out Honda Civic. We rebuild the chassis first. So here's the question for you today. Are you trying to think your way out of a broken body? Are you sitting on the couch, depressed, anxious, inflamed, waiting for a mental breakthrough? It's not coming. Your body is the warden, and it has locked you in. The only way out is to move. The only way out is to sweat. The only way out is to treat your physical training not as a hobby, but as a literal life-saving intervention. I don't care if you're 22% body fat like I was or 40% body fat. I care about the direction you're moving. If you're a man who is physically and emotionally exhausted, if you are trapped in a body that feels like it's working against you, and if you are ready to stop thinking about the war and start fighting it, then I invite you to apply for a resurrection strategy call. This is not a sales call. It is a triage session. We will diagnose the state of your personal war. We will look at your biological warfare map, and we will lay out the first actionable steps of your physical and spiritual counteroffensive. Go to coachkuz.com and click apply. Stop trying to heal your mind with your mind. Go to war for your body and watch your soul follow. I am Akusio Bavona, and I will see you in the work.